Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach 2023. It's going to be the round 7 review, and oh boy, it was a shocker. It was an absolute shocker on the old Supercoach this week. Just all across the board. Had a couple of okay scores. Captaincy was fine, thankfully, but yeah, just the bulk just very, very much underperforming. We obviously had the poor Kiraz injury, and also we did get screwed over in the final game of the round. The Eels and the Bulldogs. Well, that whole oh my god, that was I mean, Kiraz got injured in that one, but that just topped off the round. You know, I was still looking at a decent score coming into that game because I had 4 pretty good players to come, and I thought, you know what, we could still salvage a decent score. Nope. Bryce Cartwright got benched, and Kiraz did an MCL very early on. So 1,008. I'm actually shocked to see that the average score was 1120. I'm honestly stunned by that. I thought the average would be around 1,000. I actually thought I would have got about par, but average score 1120. That's insane to me. I'm a little shocked. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the players that went well that are highly owned. I mean, I know it was sort of the week that, and it makes it even worse because they did it last week as well, but the people that own Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell obviously had another pretty decent week. But I don't know how many other players, like, I guess Payne Haas, I don't own Payne Haas, so that's definitely killing me a little bit. But yeah, we dropped 2,000 ranks, which is fair enough, especially looking at the par score. But let's get into the finer points here. And not starting out well. Harry Grant with a 31. You hate to see it. It is annoying that since I brought Harry Grant in, he's been absolutely atrocious. Actually, when did I bring him in? I know when it'll be. He got his I captained him for his 44. So I brought him in then, 44, 81, 65, and then 31. So yeah, he's let me down. He's let me down big time. But the decision to keep Boyd is paying off. Another 54. He's honestly looking better than he has. I'm not, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not too sure. Like, I think he will be sort of my second dummy half for a while. Unfortunately, I don't think the Titans play round 13. I just want to quickly look at that because it's not it's not necessary to have a dummy half for round 13. Yeah, no round 13 coverage, which is a little annoying. It would have been lovely if he did. That way, I probably would have held him, and I still might, unless there's obviously a couple of guys coming up on the radar. Actually, one guy, Phoenix Crossland, I'll have a look at him after this to see how he went, because he was a bit of a actually he would have went well because he played big minutes and he did sneak a try, so he would have scored well and it would have gone up in price. So Crossland, I wouldn't mind getting Crossland in, but there's other key factors we have to do this week for sure. So Joe Tarpany, 57. He's just, it's just so annoying. Tarpany is pissing me off so much. He's not offloading it. Honestly, he looks good in his first stint. So again, 50 minutes. He plays like the first 30, and then he comes back on with like under 20 minutes to go sometimes. And he doesn't, I gotta be honest, his second stints, he never really looks that keen. Like, he doesn't, he's like not getting involved in his second stints. So Oh man, like he got a forced dropout in his opening 30 minutes. He got an offload away. He put a kick through for a forced dropout. I was like, okay, he's on par for like a good 60, 70 here, just with, you know, a couple more offloads in his second spell. But no, he didn't really do anything in his second spell. So, yeah, Tarpany, he's let me down. He's let me down a lot, but at this point, we're just keeping him. He's going to be a mainstay. Christian Welsh, 50 points. It's fine. Honestly, it's fine. I can't be disappointed with that. He's still on the chopping block, but he's fine for now. The Storm have their bye next week, I think. So, potentially next week we'll look at getting rid of Welsh. But I'm undecided. I mean, Tohu Harris I still think is going to be the best pickup just for bye coverage and a very, you know, an absolute gun in the front row. But, you know, he's coming back from injury, so I'm not that keen to get him straight away, but we'll see. Obviously, Utukamani didn't play and Franklin Pele didn't play. The back row was pretty solid, so Fafita is looking sensational. He's just looking so good. Like, he's taking so many carries. He's looking good in defense. I feel like there's a breakout game coming for Fafita soon. Like, he hasn't, I mean, that's the thing. He hasn't scored a try yet, which is crazy for Fafita. But yeah, he was so close. He was so close. Was that this week or last week he was so close? He's been close a lot of times, but not quite. Zach Hosking, 62. There was obviously a little bit of word around that, Martin came back, but he re-aggravated his hamstring, so that pretty much keeps Hosking safe for, again, a few weeks. There was talk that Garner might come back on to the bench, or, well, we don't know. He might have started, he might have come back on the bench, but he didn't end up coming back. I don't know if he played New South Wales Cup or not, but, yeah, Hosking with the Martin injury now again, he's safe, so I wasn't too concerned anyway. Like, most people have him regardless, but it is nice to have, you know, a fairly, well, what was he, like 480k when I brought him in? So a decently cheap back rower who was just really, like, has really good base stats and obviously the attacking upside with, you know, that Panthers outfit. Jacob Preston, 59. He didn't play the full 80, I think. How many minutes did he play? Yeah, he played 67. I honestly don't know what happened to him. I don't know if it was just a normal change. Like, he's pretty much played, as you can see, he's played the full 80 every week. Only last week he got sin binned for the 70 minutes. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him being injured or what, but it was a bit strange of him to not play the full 80. The fact that Kiraz got injured early, and then, I mean, Jake Averillo was on one leg for the rest of the game, basically. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened with Preston there, but I guess one to just keep an eye on. He still scored 59, so I can't be disappointed with that against the Eels. But here we go, Bryce Cartwright with the 34. So, I didn't, as you can see, I didn't end up reserving Jackson Ford, which I was going to, but honestly, I thought, you know what, Ford, he snuck a try late last week to get a decent score. I was like, he's not likely to get another one back to back. And his, you know, scoring is pretty capped, so I thought, there's better upside elsewhere. And thankfully, it didn't hurt me too much. I mean, so when I got the news that Cartwright was benched, I mean, I don't really understand it. I'll talk more about what I'm thinking with Cartwright after it, but when the news came through, I was like, oh god, can I can I reverse the trade? Because obviously I traded out Hopgood for Schuster this week or last week, and I couldn't quite. I was a bit short on cash to go Hopgood back in and trade Cartwright out, so I was like, you know what, that's fine. I'll just ride it. I could have maybe traded to someone else. I'm not too sure. I don't think I could have traded to anyone really worth having, though. So I was like, you know what? I'll ride it. Cartwright, He's not really going to go down in cash because he had a pretty low break even. Yeah, and he only went down $300, so it's honestly fine. At the moment, it's just sort of wait and see what they do with him now, because he played 49 minutes. So this is where, you know what, I'll get into the discussion now about Cartwright. So one, I don't really understand why Brad Arthur switched it up, because I mean, I haven't been a fan of Cartwright for a long time, but I actually thought he's been doing pretty damn well on the edge for Parramatta. I thought he's been really solid, and Ryan Madison through the middle, Hopgood through the middle, I think it's just worked better that way. But the way he did it, so I guess the plan was Madison was on the edge, Hopgood started, and Madison moved into the middle around the 30-minute mark, obviously, and then Cartwright played the rest of the game on the edge, and then Madison just played through the middle. So I don't really understand that. I don't know. I just don't really get the purpose of it. I know there was the drama, like Hodge. So this is why I'm curious with team lists this week, because Hodgson obviously got ruled out late with sickness, which meant Brendan Hands played. I think he played the full 80 or pretty close to, which meant there was no like utility on the bench. That's what I'm thinking. Like that's why I'm sort of like, did they just move Cartwright to the bench, as a utility just in case in the first 30 minutes? I don't know. Maybe Hands didn't look like he could go the full 80 or whatnot, because Cartwright probably out of all the forwards there could play dummy half, I guess, if needed. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they just did that move because Hodgson was out. It'll be interesting to see what happens this week with the team list if Hodgson is back, which, I mean, he should be. It was only like the flu or something. If Hodgson is back and Hands is on the bench, does Cartwright go to the edge? I don't know. I sort of think that's what they'll do, and Hopgood will go back to the bench. I know it doesn't really make sense, but that's what I'm thinking. So I don't know. At the moment, Cartwright, like, I don't really want to get rid of Cartwright, but if he's benched again, then I'll probably just have to bite the bullet and get rid of him, because he's probably going to leak too much cash. Even if he's, I don't know. I mean, that's the other thing though. If he's playing 50 minutes still on the edge, obviously if he doesn't get really any attacking stats, he was close to scoring a try, but an obstruction stopped him. But if he doesn't get attacking stats, he will drop in cash. But they have a really good run. I mean, the Broncos, tough game. But then Newcastle, Gold Coast, Canberra, South can be tough. It's okay, I guess. It's not incredible, but it's definitely some points on offer. So I don't know. I don't want to get rid of my Eels players because they cover the bye. So I'm very torn. It just shits me, dude. Fucking Brad Arthur, why are you doing this? But yeah, that'll be. The more I think if he gets named on the bench, I do probably have to just get rid of him. Just bite the bullet, get rid of him. Probably. I mean, I maybe could keep him another week because I have more pressing trades to make this week. And then next week we could look at upgrading him to potentially a Sean Lane, because Sean Lane has scored pretty poorly. Or even maybe a Ryan Madison, but he's getting a little bit expensive. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll look at that when it comes. Jackson Ford, like I said, a 40. It's okay. I mean, Ford, he's going to cover the round 13 buy. So, I mean, he definitely is peaked in price. But I think I'm just going to hold Ford until that first buy period. And then hopefully he hasn't leaked too much cash. Hopefully you can get a couple more tries in the next few weeks and, get a little bit of cash. A little bit more cash, I guess. So, Ford, he's fine. Schuster, hopefully Schuster's back this week. I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much if he is or isn't, but I would like, I would like him to. I mean, they are taking the Tigers and then the Titans, so he would be a decent play this week if he was back. He'd be a bit of a pod play potentially, because I don't know. I'm curious if a lot of people would play Schuster if he was back. I think if he is named, I think I'll play him just because the upside is pretty high with Schuster. The halves are solid. Nathan Cleary, captain. he upgraded quite a bit. I mean, it made sense. Like, I don't know what the hell was happening with the scoring in this game, but Cleary was on like, by the end of the game, he's on like 50 odd points. I was like, there is no shot. Like, they just didn't give him a blatant try assist for whatever reason, and then even another one potentially could have gone to him. So I was like, he upgrades a lot, and I know a lot of people would have been annoyed by it, but I'm like, he was actually owed so many points. Like, there's definitely times where a player upgrades and you're like, come on, really? How the hell did they upgrade like 30 points from nothing? But that game was so weird, this scoring on it initially. Nico Hines, 89. I was so I'm not gonna lie, I was sort of hoping he would have a bit of a shocker, and he was the first half was not looking great for him, and the only reason for that was because obviously a lot of people captained Cleary, but I'm sure quite a few people captained Hines as well, and I thought, you know what, this is a nice little boost. If Cleary can get a few more than Hines, then we could make some ground. But obviously Hines killed it in the second half and got up to a 90, and he's almost over $1 million. So if you didn't get him last week, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tougher this week. He's gone up 100k almost. Jesus. So Dylan Brown was the man we brought in last week. He only got the 60. He went down another 30k, which I'm fine. Like, that's the thing with Brown. I didn't really care that he was going to lose cash unless he killed it, which there was a pretty high chance he could have, but the lane combo just isn't quite there yet. But yeah, I mean, Dylan Brown, he's a long-term hold in the team now. So, I mean, Cody Walker, I know, got 100, but I'm not keen on Cody now. Like, the fucking Rabbitohs have had 2 weeks now where they've got to play against a 12-man defensive line, like, in the second half when they're already fatigued, and the Rabbitohs are a team that can definitely, they're probably the best team at exploiting, like, a man advantage. So, Latrell Mitchell and Walker, it's been killing me, them getting all their points, against the 12 men. I mean, Latrell Mitchell more so. Cody Walker actually scored quite a few points, like, not during that time. But Latrell Mitchell, oh my god. As soon as I mean, I like Latrell Mitchell, but man, he is a downhill skier. Like, if things are going well, Latrell Mitchell, he's up and about. He's up and about. And if things aren't, then he's nowhere to be seen. But I mean, that's why you got him. That's why you got him. When things are going well, he can put on points very, very quickly. So, yeah, the people that own Walker and Mitchell would be loving it right now. But Brown 60, I mean, he's just a safe 60 every week. He looked pretty good. I mean, he had like 3 forced dropouts, which is nice. That definitely boosted his score a bit. He's just not quite. He's running the ball a fair bit still, but he's just not quite busting through and getting an offload and scoring a try himself at the moment. But it'll come. Isaiah Katoa, 39. I mean, he's an absolute plotter, but he is going up. He's gone up 100k. I can't be shitting on that too much. I mean, I'm just gonna keep Katoa for a while. I'm not too sure what I want to do with the second 5'8" spot. Actually, is Crossland? Oh, I gotta look at that. Is Crossland 5'8" and dummy half? Because if he is, I mean, Katoa's probably the guy to get rid of for Crossland, right? We'll look at that later. The center wing. The center wing. This is where things came crashing down. So Lachlan Miller, 32. It was coming. You know, I mean, the Knights, the Knights actually should have won that game against Penrith. And I'm not talking about like bad decisions or something. Like I think they were just the better team, but unfortunately, Penrith just have the habit of winning. So those close games, you just always felt that Penrith were going to sneak away with that victory. I was devastated. Oh man, it would have felt so good for the Knights to win. But you know, I mean, the Knights taking on Penrith, I was not expecting Miller to score well at all. Like, if people, I'm sure there's so many people that are like thinking about selling Miller or selling Marju, and I'm just like, they'll take on Penrith. Like, what do you expect? I mean, he did miss like 2 or 3 goals, which also is a bit of a killer. So that let him down. I mean, if he kicks the goals, he almost gets 50 points. But yeah, I mean, it was against the best defensive team in the comp. So 32 is not great, but it's not. It's what you'd expect. And maybe I shouldn't have played him, but you had to play him. You had to risk it. Val Holmes with the 46. You know, I think Holmes. I was definitely always going to sell Holmes basically when Origin comes up. I just hope there's a couple of big scores coming up. He's been good. I mean, he's averaging 63, but yeah, a little bit underwhelming. I mean, the Cowboys have been shocking. So if the Cowboys can find a little bit of form, which I don't know if it's coming, but Val Holmes will definitely be the beneficiary of that. Jacob Kiraz with the 6. Oh, that's a killer because he loses 78k. Oh, man. That is a big drop in 1 week. Because I think he had a pretty high break even coming into this week and then only getting 6 points. So Kiraz is definitely a sell. It's just, it's a shot. It's a real shame he lost so much cash because it makes going to, I mean, my number 1 priority, it makes it a little bit more annoying, but still very manageable. Sonny Taruba, 27. Oh my God. I said it last week, but oh my God. Watching Penrith is very annoying. I mean, a couple of reasons. I don't like Penrith, but also Isaac Tungo. Oh, he is the worst. He is the worst. He is the actual worst. I cannot stand him. And obviously I'm being a little facetious, but he just can't pass the ball. Like, there's just space. There's space for a winger, and he just doesn't pass. He just can't pass right to left. So, Taruva, I think Taruva's got to go. He's definitely not a priority get out. I mean, if you're in a good position where you're looking to move an outside back on, I actually think Taruva is the guy to go because I just don't really see Taruva ever going huge because I don't know what it is. Like, but it's the funny thing about it is because Taylor May last year was killing it. I don't know. Does Tungo just not like Taruva? Because I feel like Tungo did pass to May. He passed it to fucking Taylor May. But it's probably more so the fact that Kikau was there. And Kikau, I mean, Kikau is just an absolute weapon. And Kikau is so good at like doing a cutout ball or, you know, sweeping around the back and just a nice little hands onto the winger. So their shape is a lot different from last year. And their winger just doesn't get the footy because of Tungo. So, oh man, it's a shocker. But it is what it is. Khan Pereira, 63. He scored 2 tries and got 63, which is a little crazy, but I'm still happy with the 63. Lemuelu, 42. He only played... This one was annoying as well because Lemuelu... Yeah, and he played 60 minutes. So I'm not sure if he got... I'm not sure if he picked up a knock or something, but yeah, that was disappointing. I remember this... Again, I was watching the game and I was getting annoyed because Lemuelu just wasn't getting any footy. He was making his tackles... He was getting through his work, but he just wasn't getting any chance with the footy. And then all of a sudden, he had 2 runs, like, back-to-back with 2 offloads. It's like fucking 10 points in, like, 10 points in 2 runs in, like, a minute. I was like, you beauty. He's on for a pretty decent score. And then he went off in, like, in the 60-minute mark. So, that, just things just went... things just decided to go fully against me this week. So... Yeah, he's not going to drop a lot of cash. He's still getting 40s, but yeah, if he's not playing 80 minutes, I definitely have to shift him on for sure. Warbrick got 65, so that's very handy. He's going to get a little bit more cash. I mean, Khan Pereira, he's at 500k now, and I think his break even is around that 60 mark. So I think Khan Pereira, I know I said Taruva, but I think Khan Pereira is actually the guy that is probably the most pressing to sell, I would say, because he now has to score to hit his break even. He has to score tries, otherwise he's going to leak cash. Warbrick is only 400k, so the fact he got 65 this week, he's probably, his break even to be pretty low. Lemuelu's break even's probably getting up a little bit now, but he's not going to drop a lot of cash. He's only 440, and Taruva, he's only just over 400k as well, so he's not going to drop that much cash. And the base stats are still good. He just, I don't know, it was just a game he wasn't getting too much footy in general. Tommy Trbojevic got 57. It's fine. I mean, you look at the other fullbacks, obviously Latrell Mitchell killed it, but Tedesco, I think Tedesco got like 40 points, and I mean, yeah. And then Reece Walsh, my boy Walsh, just, my God, 101, just absolutely on fire. And I mean, that's the thing with, like, I'm annoyed I don't have Mitchell, but like, if I didn't have, like, if I was getting Mitchell, I wouldn't have had Walsh. So Walsh has got, like, I mean, let's look at these damn scores. He's averaging 95, 105, 95, 84, 99, 86, 101. He's just been so consistently great. I know I said the draw is getting a little hard, but I mean, at this point, I can't get rid of Walsh until he goes poorly, which could happen against the better teams. We'll see if Walsh can continue the blitz, but he's just getting so involved. He looks so quick. He looks so strong through his hips, and he's just busting tackles. He's just creating so many opportunities out wide that at this point you just can't get rid of him. So the pressing issues in the team, right? Back row is pretty okay. I mean, the Cartwright issue is there. We definitely need another sort of top line back rower, but you know, I'm not that pressed at the moment. The halves are pretty much sorted. We just decide if we want another gun 5'8" or what we're going to do there. The center wing, Kiraz has got to go. He's out for, well, they're saying 3 weeks, but I mean, that could be 3 to 6 weeks. You never know. But at his price, I think, I mean, I was already thinking that Kiraz potentially could go. I just wasn't, like, the Dogs against better teams, I just didn't see Kiraz really scoring many tries, and his price is going to drop even with the great base. So it's made the decision easy there. Holmes and Miller. I mean, Miller's going to play that first bye, so I mean, he's definitely staying for at least the first bye anyway. Val Holmes, we're going to be getting rid of him at Origin time, keeping till then. Taruva, I don't know. I don't know. I do think he's got to go. I don't, like, Penrith don't play the first bye, do they? Yeah, Penrith don't play the first bye, so Taruva, yeah, probably going to get rid of him. Khan Pereira is probably the most, he's the guy that's got to go first. And then Warbrick, he's going to make a little bit more cash. And then Lemuelu, I think, has got to go as well. So let's have a quick look. So I got 43k in the bank. The guy I want to bring in, like, obviously, is Ruben Garrick. So I think Ruben Garrick is a little bit more expensive than 700k. We have got, if it wants to load, 694. I think Garrick is just slightly too expensive for that. Or is he? Oh, he's just, oh man. I mean, I was gonna make a second trade anyway, so it's not a big deal. But it would have been nice to not have to generate cash if we didn't have to, but I'm going to anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But Ruben Garrick, I know, and this is why I like the trade as well, because he's only 16% owned, which is still pretty high, but I do think Garrick is the best center wing in the game. Like, I think that's pretty clear cut. in my opinion anyway. He's got the goal kicking. He's got the base stats. He's playing in a Manly team with Tom Trbojevic. They have so many attacking weapons. He's just... Yeah, I like Ruben Garrick. He's obviously coming off... Like, what he scored? Like, 1 point or something? Yeah, 8 points. He got knocked out in this game. I mean, look at the scores. 110 against the Dogs. Easy game. But then Parramatta and South, both, like, arguably top 4 teams. 82 and 71. And then Newcastle 81. So, he's sort of matchup proof. He's got the Tigers and the Titans. So, he's coming off an 8. So, his break-even is going to be massive. So, hopefully that scares a fair few people. Well, the annoying thing now is that Kiraz is obviously gone. So, I think pretty much everyone that has Kiraz are just going to go to Garrick if they don't have him. So, yeah, probably kiboshes that a little bit. But hopefully a few people are nervous to pick up Garrick just with the high break-even and losing money. But Tigers and Titans is just such a good matchup to come back into. It's a gimme pickup. Campbell Graham scored 2 more tries. He only got 73 points with 2 tries, but people that own the Rabbitohs contingent are feeling very damn good. Lockie Miller, like I said, 52. Isaac Tungo, the ball hog himself. You fuck. Only 36 points. That's goddamn karma. That's goddamn karma for not passing. Greg Marju, only the 42. But again, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are like, oh man, Marju only scored 42 points. But 42 against Penrith, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good for a winger that didn't score any tries. So, yeah, I think Marju owners should still feel pretty good. Jermaine Asako came back a little bit with only 44, which is thank fuck. Thank God he didn't score another ton. Mulatalo. So Mulatalo is a guy that I also would love to get Mulatalo for the Sharks run and just, you know, not playing Origin and all that. But yeah, he's a tick over 700k now. So, I mean, Ruben Garrick is clear cut more pressing than Mulatalo. But if I had the luxury to get him, I'd love to. Gagai's been killing it. Brian Toto. Anyone else jumping out? So Jackson Paulo dropped back down to earth a little bit with a 35. Finally didn't score a try. Joey Manu. So Joey Manu got 33. I mean, I gotta be honest, he is very tempting to get. Like, he's gonna... his break-even is going to be massive again this week because he scored so low. I mean, he scored 71, which is good, but then 31, 49, 33 for an 800,000. He is dropping quickly. They take on the Dragons. I feel like that's a good matchup for Manu, but I got it. Like, he is so tempting because usually around the middle, like, I feel like this is the time, well, probably a little bit later, is when Manu hits his straps, when he gets to play a little bit more middle, when the Roosters through Origin rests like Tedesco and they have a couple plays out. Manu sort of steps up and just sort of takes it on himself. But I got to be honest, he's looking awful. Like, I don't know what's going on with Manu, but he's not looking good at all, in my opinion. He looks... I don't know. He looks injured. He does not... Like, he's barely taking dummy half runs. Like, I don't know what's doing with Joey Manu. So, I think this is a great week to wait on him. Like, it's not a bad pickup because he could come out and absolutely kill it against the Dragons. But his break-even is going to be huge still. So, I don't think... He's not going to, like, jump in a lot of money or anything. But I'd like to see him again just to see how he's looking. But I don't know, coming back from that facial fracture again, like, I don't know, maybe he's a little bit hesitant in his play at the moment. I'm not too sure, but I have not been impressed with him at the moment. Penasini 98, looking pretty solid, honestly. Honestly, Jack Bird looked pretty good. He is almost 600k though, so I probably wouldn't be looking at him. But So Suoli'i, 27. So Suoli'i's dropped a lot now as well. He's 540. Mike Acevo. I mean, with the Eels run coming up, Mike Acevo, a bit of a pod play. Don't hate it. So Chansey, clock start only the 29, which I feel good about. I'm glad he had a low one, honestly. But so let's go to the cheapies here quickly, because there's a couple of guys that I'm looking at that are both scary. So one, Gerald Skelton. Now I gotta be honest, I feel like this is one of those guys. Like, he is such a monster. Like, I feel like he is too good not to be playing first grade. But I feel like this is one of those times where a club knows that he's good enough to be in the team, but maybe, like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like this happens with other teams, like the Broncos at times. You look at some guys in the lower grades, you're like, how the hell are they not getting a run? And I don't know if it's true, but I feel like some clubs, or like probably most clubs, if they have a young guy or a guy, like he came from Union obviously, but if they got a guy like that and maybe they don't have the money to necessarily upgrade their contract straight away, they don't necessarily want to put them in first grade and sort of showcase them that much, unless it's like absolutely necessary. Because, you know, if a guy comes in, absolutely kills it, I don't even know, I don't know Skelton, how long he signed for or what, but if he kills it, other clubs might come circling pretty quickly. And if the Dogs don't have the cash to upgrade him pretty quickly, another club could swoop in and pluck him out. Now, I don't know if that is the case, but it does sort of feel like it at times. Like, come on, how is he not going to run? If he doesn't get a run, I'll be flabbergasted. Like, Jaden Okabor is not a better winger than Joel Skelton, even if he's only played like a year of NRL or a couple of years at NRL or rugby league, I should say. But we'll see. We'll see if team list Joel Skelton gets named. I mean, he's a Supercoach player, you know, all round really. The other guys we want to look at, so they're both actually risky. So Hayes Dunster, he scored 27. I mean, it's sort of the good thing with Dunster is that he's scored so badly that even if you don't jump on this week, obviously if he plays this week, his price will increase, but unless he comes out and gets 100, it's not going to increase that much. So yeah, you potentially could wait on Dunster, but the problem with Dunster is that Bailey Simonson was suspended for, I think, 2 games. So I guess team list this week will decide if Dunster gets his shot. But again, I got to be honest, I haven't been that impressed with Dunster. So I don't know. It's a risk because maybe they give him 1 more week and he might perform badly. People will jump on because the prices will change next week. But then, you know, he goes okay or maybe a bit poor. But then they just bring Simonson back after a week in reserves or whatever. And then Dunster is a nightmare not doing anything on your reserves. So I'm worried about Dunster. But again, we'll see team list. Simonson could come straight back in or maybe not. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not too sure what they're going to do there. And then the other guy. So Robert Jennings, also a cheapie watch now with the Dolphins. Honestly, looked pretty good. He only scored 26, which is a little surprising. I actually thought he looked pretty good in his first game. But yeah, he's only played the 1 game, so you can give another little watch on Robert Jennings. Jared Croker, so he got 40 again. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. So Croker, now... Oh, they've got the fucking bye. I don't know if that's good or bad. So last week I was so keen on Jared Croker. I'm like, he's pretty much a lock to come into my team as a downgrade option. But the thing I fucking realized was that I sort of forgot that Xavier Savage has been out injured and Sebastian Chris, who is not a fullback, who, you know, he's actually gone pretty good in the last couple of weeks, but he's definitely not a fullback. I actually think Chris is a very good center. When Savage comes back, like, surely Savage comes back and plays fullback. Chris will just come back into the center, right? Like, I as much as Croker has been really solid, and they have won both games since he's been there. Actually, no, they fucking lost. Who did they play? No, they beat the Dragons. It was touch and go. I did pick the Raiders, but it was a bit of a, I don't know. It was a weird game to watch. Bit of a weird one. But Croker, like, as solid as he's been, I feel like, I mean, Tomoko obviously is not going to get dropped. He's a weapon. But Sebastian Chris, he is a better center than Jared Croker is nowadays. Maybe, like, Chris has obviously played a bit in the back row last year. Maybe they use him as a forward off the bench. I don't know. Maybe they put him on the wing, potentially. I know Nick Kotrick is now out, so yeah, maybe Chris goes to the wing. That could save Croker, but yeah, that was, I just realized, I was like, wait, Croker is probably going to get dropped when Savage comes back, but now they've got the bye, so I guess we can, yeah, I don't know. I guess the week after we'll get a better idea of what they're looking to do with Croker, Chris, and Savage. See how they all sort of slot in if they do. So yeah, that's sort of that at the moment. I think I don't know then. I think at the moment, Hayes, Dunster, well, you know what, let's just put Dunster into the team for now. I'm really not sold on Dunster. I just don't see him holding that spot if Simonson's back. But again, we'll find out. But this is just placeholder. We will trade. See, I guess we'll trade Khan Pereira. Yeah, I'll have a close look at break evens, either later or maybe in the next video, just to make sure I'm doing the right decision there. Because maybe Connolly Lemuelu is a better option, but he is dual second row forward as well, so it is handy to have at the moment still. But let's bring in obviously Ruben Garrick, absolute must have in my opinion. So yeah, trade that. I gotta be honest, I am very tempted to do a trade boost. I mean, I've got 250k. I did want to use my trade boost, like the 3 trade boosts for the big buys, but I don't know. Let's just have a look at how the team shapes up with our full strength roster, so to speak. So who's on bye? Tarpany's on bye. So, Utakamanu, which is fine, honestly. I mean, I could. Ooh, so again, I'm waiting to see. Like, I still somewhat feel like Cartwright is gonna get named to start, and Hop could go back to the bench. But again, they could do a late fucking switch on me. But that's sort of. This is what I was actually thinking about. If I do these 2 trades, right? If I just do these 2 trades, if I have a lot of money in the bank, then potentially I could keep Cartwright, and if he does get dropped back to the, if they do like a late switch like they did last time, I could activate the trade boost. And who can we get? We can probably... Can we afford Madison? Probably not. He's probably a bit... Yeah, God, they're both too expensive. Oh, no. I was thinking I could probably get Sean Lane or Madison, but no. God damn it. I can't get either. Oh, man. That's a rough one. Oh, if we could... Oh, man. If fucking Gerald Skelton gets named, honestly, I'd save 30k... which would let me get either. I'd probably want Madison over Lane because Lane's going to lose so much money. He's going to lose so much money. But Madison would be nice to get, I got to be honest. So that's... God, I hope Skelton gets named. Surely he does. Surely. But let's get rid of that for now. Was there any other genuine cheapies in the why the hell? Just go back. I think it was just those two, right? I think it was Dunster, Skelton, and then I mean Jennings and Croker are a little bit more expensive. So I don't think there was any others, right? Yeah, I think that's pretty much, yeah. It's just either, yeah, Skelton or Dunster at this point. So, yeah, we'll keep him for now. We'll see what happens with Cartwright. If we did trade, who can we get for, Who can we get for Utsukamanu at the moment? 660k. I mean, I gotta be honest. Max King. Max King is absolutely killing it. He's been playing such big minutes, dude. Like, what have the minutes been all year? 62, 55, 54, 68, 51, 62, 72. He plays 72 minutes for 80 points. Man. I feel like it's a bit of a waste of a trade, though. Like, his minutes could drop back to 50 all of a sudden. Like, I know the Dogs have a lot of injuries in the forward, so maybe they don't, but... Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the front row, if it's not paying Haas, like... I mean, look at the other top liners. So, Tino... I mean, he did cop that sin bin, so he only got 40. Tarpany. Max King's killing it. Tohu... I mean, Tohu's the guy I want. Really. And I could probably wait another week on Tohu coming back from the injury. I don't really want to just jump on him early. I don't think there's much point. And then the rest of them... I mean, Mitch Barnett, if he comes back... Like, I actually don't know what he did injury-wise, but he's been gone for a while. But he's gone... Yeah, he's gone okay. Maybe not. Tohu... I think Tohu is the guy. So I think... at the moment, I'm thinking that. Like... Yeah. Oh, I guess the other guy... So the other guy... So let's activate the damn boost again. No, I've already done it. So, So Phoenix Crossland. Is he a 5'8"? I mean... Kalen Ponga. Whew. Kalen Ponga... Obviously, you wouldn't jump on Ponga straight away because he's got like a 1 in his rolling average, but he's 530. He's going to be so cheap. So, I mean, honestly, Isaiah Katoa, you could almost just straight swap Katoa for Ponga. But, I don't know. At that point, do you really want to get Ponga just before Origin? Because he's going to play Origin if he's not injured or whatever. So, yeah, maybe not. But let's look. Where is... Crossland. So he only, I don't know. Then he only got 52 with the try. I think. Played 68 minutes. I don't know then. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, it's good, and I mean Crossland. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, the dummy half spot is an issue now with Brayley gone for the season, so there's minutes there. And I don't think Kurt Mann obviously played more just at lock for the game. Crossland, he only 52 points. It's not great. It's not great. I'll have a closer look at how he actually scored those points. But I thought he looked okay. But yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it at that point, honestly. Because Tanner Boyd, I mean, I guess downgrading Boyd to Crossland wouldn't be a terrible idea. Because I'm not really ever going to play Boyd. He's just there for a little bit of cash generation. So if we can swing him on, make 100k with the trade, and then Crossing can make another 100, 200k maybe, that would be beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, we're this is how we're shaping up. I'm I'm a little bit worried about the team. Well, I'm not that worried, I guess. I think we're looking okay. So let's have a quick look at round 13. So Walsh, I don't know. Walsh is a 50-50 for playing round 13 if we keep him that long, because I mean, if Pong is fit, I don't think Walsh makes it. So he could be a great number in round 13. Lockie Miller. Ruben Garrick. Yes, Ruben Garrick. Ruben Garrick plays. Obviously, Trebojevic will be at Origin. So we got 3 at the moment. So Dolphins play, but I don't think I can hold Connolly Lemuelu for that long. So I don't think I'll have him. Warbrick will probably be moving on pretty soon. He doesn't play. Hayes Dunster, that's very up in the air if he's actually if he's there till round 13. But that's another number potentially. Dylan Brown will be there. Katoa. I think maybe the plan. I think Cody Walker's going to have some low scores coming up, because they got a pretty hard run. So potentially, if we can swing it, I would love to switch Katoa for Cody Walker for round 13. That would be like the ideal situation, because I don't think there's too many other good 5'8s. So if it happens, we could swing Katoa to Cody Walker. If not, we just keep Katoa. Honestly, I think that's fine. Nico Hines clearly won't play. Do Dogs play? No, Dogs don't play. Penrith don't play. Titans, obviously Fafita wouldn't be there. Cartwrights, we'll see. Ford will be there. Schuster will be there if he's actually fit. So another 3 potentials there. And then the forwards, Tarpany, yes. Titans don't play. So Tanner Boyd, we'll see. But I don't know. We're shaping up okay for the first bye, even without really going hard at it at the moment. So, we're going along okay. But that'll wrap it up for this video. Still plenty of decisions to make what we're going to do. Team lists will be a big influence on how we go about this week. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.